Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center, this is your Fox 18 9 o'clock news.
Yes, I am human, and yes, I made a mistake.
The Rock Island County Sheriff is stepping down after allegations of official misconduct tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bailey Dietz. We'll bring you the details of what he's being accused of doing and what this means for Rock Island County residents. First, here's our top 9 at 9. 2 Illinois lawmakers are proposing a bill that would raise traffic and criminal fines to fund body cameras for police officers. A group of Sherrard students completes emergency medical service training that could help rural areas in need of volunteer first responders. Relatives with loved ones buried in an area cemetery are concerned the gravestarts are being disrespected. Some Quad Cityans got a chance to meet and greet their first responders who serve our area. The Rock Island Arsenal holds a ceremony in honor of the victims and servicemen and women who died in the 9/11 attacks and since then. A World Trade Center survivor shares his story and how he felt on that horrific day of the terror attacks. 2 90-year-old women are celebrating their union, finally tying the knot after 72 years of dating. President Obama delivers his strategy for beating ISIS, but some lawmakers say they want to weigh in. And South African Paralympian Oscar Pistorius will not be convicted of premeditated murder in the death of his girlfriend. Rock Island County Sheriff Jeff Boyd resigned today after pleading guilty to attempted official misconduct in court today. Fox 18's Mark Stevens joins us live in the newsroom. And Mark, this resignation follows a cyber stalking investigation.
Yeah, Boyd pled guilty to the attempted official misconduct charge after the Attorney General's office received a state police investigation into attempted cyber stalking. Illinois Attorney General Lisa Madigan says Boyd was sending text messages to a woman he met at a gym in Rock Island. Madigan says Boyd pursued the woman, who was an undocumented immigrant from Mexico, using his position as sheriff to intimidate and harass her. Madigan says Boyd sent her a threatening anonymous text message in June. Now, Boyd and his lawyers strongly disagree with the Attorney General. Boyd says he did not threaten the woman and that he was not cyber stalking. He was simply sending text messages. He says he's not convinced what he did was a crime, but he admits he made a mistake, and that's why he chose to step down. By resigning, he says he hopes to protect his family and the integrity of the Sheriff's Department from a long court process.
It's very difficult for my family to go through something like this. My extended family, the Rock Island County Sheriff's Office. If I were to have fought this and go to trial, we're looking at anywhere from 8 to 9 months, potentially. We're looking upwards of 6 figures in cost. And we're looking at this office being brought backwards every single day I'm on trial. And the citizens of Rock Island County didn't elect me to do that. They didn't elect me to do that.
Boyd's guilty plea also includes his withdrawal from the November election for the sheriff's seat in Rock Island County. He also forfeits the pension he earned during his 4 years as Rock Island County Sheriff. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mark Stevens, Fox 18, 9 o'clock news.
Mark, thank you. Captain Jerry Bustos will likely step in as sheriff. Boyd will step down from the office tomorrow. In the wake of the controversy in Ferguson, Missouri, police body cameras have been a topic of much discussion, and a new bill introduced in Illinois would help police departments purchase them. Agencies would be able to apply for grants funded by an additional $6 surcharge on fines for criminal or traffic offenses. In our area, Hampton Police is getting 2 body cameras. The chief thinks down the road they could be a pretty standard piece of equipment.
I know times are tough for everybody. I don't want to see any more fees added to anybody or anything, but this is something that's new. It's definitely going to save time, and it's going to save money.
If passed, the extra fees to fund police cameras are expected to raise $4 to $6 million a year. Some rural areas depend on volunteer first responders, and the help is in demand. And now a new program at Sherrard High School trains students in emergency medical services, hoping they will fill in the future. So far, 17 students have finished the training, and now they have their provisional EMS license until they turn 18, something the students say they're excited about.
It's a tremendous feeling knowing that you can come upon an accident and that you and what your actions do because of training you had here at school and that opportunity you were given, you're going to be able to help somebody out and maybe save a life.
The class's instructor hopes to continue the course after its school with new students this winter. A cemetery is meant to be a solemn ground, but some families say their loved ones are being disrespected, their final resting places disturbed. Fox 18's Elizabeth Goodsit now with their concerns.
With expansive green lawns and big shade trees, you can see why someone would choose Williams Field Cemetery as a final resting place. But residents say
I actually thought it was vandalism at first.
the peace and tranquility here was shattered by the very people supposed to maintain it.
And I see that it was lawn care people that had taken weed whackers to everything and left it lay.
She says it goes beyond plants and flowers.
Came out to check on my dad and my nephew, and I had noticed that there was Legion markers missing for the veterans.
And she says stones disturbed, some pushed from their bases or even flipped over, along with tire tracks on cement, chips in concrete.
I see no respect when I come out here.
Carol Smith seeing the same thing.
A shock first.
Her mother, daughter, and a husband are buried here.
And then a great amount of frustration because, when something happens, you feel like you should step in and do something.
She's been keeping an album documenting what she sees.
This one's been pushed over.
Sharing it with supervisors.
The answer was, I'll talk to him, the lawn mowing place. And that has done nothing.
The owner of Box Lawn Care says his team is doing everything the Board of Supervisors has requested. Board Supervisor James Ross telling us he couldn't talk about the issue, only saying board members are working on it, something these residents say they'll be doing too.
The ones that are here laid to rest don't have a voice anymore.
Now, residents are asking the Board of Supervisors to contract with a new lawn care company. They've also started a Facebook page, Friends of Williamsfield and Truro Township Cemeteries, where they are sharing pictures and stories. Chilly temperatures out there today, and with the cloudy skies lingering around, could there be a chance of rain? That's the question. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Eric Maitland to find out. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Bailey. Yeah, as a matter of fact, tonight, as we finish off the evening, slight chance of a sprinkle along the I-80 corridor as far north as Highway 30, and then down in some of our southern counties as well. There you can see that rain moving in from the west, but it's nothing more than some sprinkles. Temperatures remain cool, 54 in the Quad Cities, 50 in Dubuque, 52 in Macomb, 54 in Burlington, and 51 in Kewanee. So as we go through the course of the evening, outside of a few raindrops, just mainly cloudy right through the night. 46 by morning time. Then the bulk of that system to the west moves on through with some scattered rain tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully we'll get most, if not all of it, out by football time, but it's still going to be chilly. Highs in the mid-50s.
Thousands of people lost their lives when the plane struck the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and crashed into a rural area in Pennsylvania. 13 years later, Quad Cityans are once again honoring those who perished in the tragedy and those first responders who helped get people to safety. Today, United Neighbors held a meet and greet, allowing people in the community to get to know the first responders who serve our area. Since the 9/11 attack, our servicemen and women have worked to protect the country in the war against terror. Today, some of them gathered at the Rock Island Arsenal to commemorate the ones who have lost their lives since then, along with the victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack. Today, flags were placed on the field. There was a wreath-laying ceremony and the playing of taps. A survivor of the World Trade Center attack speaks about his experiences on that day at the Union League of Chicago's 9/11 commemoration. Don Basco was on the 57th floor of the North Tower that day. Basco says his father was concerned 2 days prior to the attack about Basco going to New York and working in the World Trade Center because of the 1993 bombing there, and says he still thinks about what he said to him that day.
My father was concerned about this fact, but after I was assuring him that security in the building was extremely tight since that first attack, I made a comment that would come back to me so ironically on September 11th, 2001. I said, "Don't worry, Dad. Lightning never strikes the same place twice."
Basco says he tells his story to educate children who are too young to remember the 9/11 attacks. For decades, they thought it was best to keep their love a secret. Now they are proud to show the world their union. We'll tell you about that when we return.
And most areas limited to highs in the 50s today, 57 in the Quad Cities, 56 in Dubuque, 2 new record cool high temperatures. We'll have the latest on the rain coming our way to finish off the week next.
You're watching Bailey Deets. This is your Fox 18 9 o'clock news.